My roller skating journey began back, I suppose, in lockdown. I just practiced everywhere I could, in the kitchen. When I was leaving my wains to like their drama or football, I was like, right, where can I skate? Once, twice a week, I would have beginner workshops, adult sessions, dance workshops, and you know this, Stephen, it's amazing. Like, it's probably one of the best things I've started doing, and the people that I've met, and the things that we've done. See, trying to dance on skates, like, it's a whole different thing, but it very much improves your skating because you're kind of challenging your body to do all these different moves while on skates, and it's fun, and that's why we do it. It's so fun. It's the same route they use as the running marathon, so which Berlin is one of the major marathons. So it's the same route. So like you start off, you go through all the streets of Berlin, and then towards the finish line, you actually skate under the Brandenburg Gate.
So on the show here today, we are joined by Una. Anyone who follows her on social media may know her as Roller Dance Una. So Una, thank you so much for coming along here today.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me on the very first podcast.
Is that right? Your first time ever doing something like this? Yeah, yeah.
First time.
Well, I suppose I'm actually... We chatted a couple of days ago just to go through how things were going to work or whatever, but I deliberately didn't ask you for your story because I am genuinely interested in it. And the first time I came across you, as I was saying the other day, was it November time when we had the ABBA roller disco? We had the ABBA roller disco in the rink.
We landed in.
And I got this email from this woman who was saying that there was a group of women coming down from Strabane for it, and they were all geared up for it. And I thought that's pretty cool. And when I went down that night, I didn't realise how geared up you were for it. And I found these, I don't know, there was a whole crowd of you, all dressed up.
A whole busload of us. Well, not bus, like a people carrier of us, like a family car of us. Oh yeah, we love ABBA. We love roller skating and we love ABBA. You were putting on an ABBA night, so we had to be there.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant, and you said all the dance moves and well, obviously I'll put this into the podcast as well because I have a lot of video footage of that night. But we've got
very good, very good.
So I'm really interested in just where did the roller dance Una lifestyle begin? Just to tell us about your story.
Well, I suppose my roller skating journey in adulthood began back, I suppose, in lockdown. A lot of people were kind of getting skates and stuff in lockdown, and all over Instagram was people kind of blogging or their roller skating journey. And I thought, you know what, I would love to do that. So I got skates, and at that stage it was finding somewhere to skate. Like, we're not lucky enough to live, we're not too far away from yourself. But see where we live, there's nowhere really that you can just go and skate. So it was like looking for places that were skateable, because living in Northern Ireland, we're quite a hilly country. So outdoors, and it's not always very safe to skate, and finding nice smooth tire. We're constantly looking now going, could I skate there? Could I skate there? So basically I got skates, and it was kind of relearning how to skate as an adult. So I just practiced everywhere I could, in the kitchen. When I was leaving my wains to like their drama or football, I was like, right, where can I skate? And the hour that I have to wait for them, and teaching myself off, like, you know, Instagram and YouTube tutorials of like these amazing skaters over in America, and trying to improve my skating. And through doing that, I actually met loads of skaters, like local skaters that I didn't even know. Like, I didn't even know these people. And it's a great way of meeting, like, down around Strabane, and down the road in Derry. And Belfast have a great community. Dublin, there's a girl in Enniskillen called Leanna. She is doing great things down there for the skate community. And I was just meeting these people and going, right, how can we get this more kind of accessible to people in our area, especially like adults like us, and then for the kids as well. So a few years into it, and once I actually improved a wee bit, I thought, right, I want to start teaching this now. But I didn't just want to go and start teaching it. I wanted to be properly certified. and have a proper structure in how I teach it. Because like a lot of sports, it does come with a lot of risk, roller skating. Putting wheels on our feet isn't the safest thing we can do. So I just thought, right, I'm going to do it properly. So I actually found this really amazing skater and dance teacher online. She's called Morgan Wesky, and she's from America. And I joined up to her dance skate certification program, where she basically takes you through a certification course where you can teach roller skating, like beginner, the fundamentals of roller skating, and also an introduction into dance skate. So I went under her mentorship and did a course, got my insurance, found a couple of halls, and then off I went about, and we're just over a year now. I'm doing roller dance, you know, once, twice a week. I would have beginner workshops, adult sessions, dance workshops, and you know this, Stephen, it's amazing. Like, it's probably one of the best things I've started doing, and the people that I've met and the things that we've done through it. Like, I'll tell you later on about that, but like, we've been to Berlin and skated a marathon, you know, through roller skating. I actually can't believe that we've done it. A couple of friends, one of them was like, does anybody want to go to Berlin and skate the marathon? And we were like, yeah. And if you see the promo for, and it's an actual like thing, if you see the promo for it, it's all these real elite skaters and their proper cycling helmets and the, you know, speed skaters. And then there was us, these 4 or 5 women from Northern Ireland, and our roller skates going, yeah, we're going to do that. And we did, and we skated it, and we had a blast. You know, it was absolutely amazing. So, no, it's great. It's great. And like, we met you, so in my sessions, we would cover the basics. So you could come to the class never having skated before, because what I've done is I've built up like a skate library and safety equipment and helmets, and I give them to the people, same as yourselves. It's included in the thing. So if you don't have roller skates, that's no problem. And people come like very much beginner, and we do the whole basic fundamentals. And then in a lot of the sessions then we do wee dances. So they can be very beginner level dances and going right up to the more intricate dances. But dancing on skates is a whole different skill in itself. Like, it's you could skate about all lovely. See, trying to dance on skates, like, it's a whole different thing. But it very much improves your skating, because you're kind of challenging your body to do all these different moves while on skates, and it's fun, and that's why we do it. It's so fun. And when you have a group of people all doing like a choreographed routine on skates, like, as you know, it looks amazing, and people just want to join in, and that's what it's all about. And the kids love it. Like, they keep sending me now, what dance are we doing next? What dance? So they're keeping me on my toes, making up new dances each time, you know, to different songs. But it's good fun. So that's more or less what roller dancing is all about.
That's class.
In a nutshell.
That's class. And do you know what I love is just the pure enthusiasm. And I recognise.
Oh, come here.
I recognise that in myself as well.
It's doing things that give us. You enjoy it. We don't want to do things that we don't enjoy, and why should we? Like, you know, I know we have to do certain things we don't enjoy, but I kind of feel now I'm at a stage where, see, if I find things that give me joy, I want to do more of it. And you'll find a lot of people that roller skate are all of the same mindset. We all want that joy, like that inner child. We're feeding our inner child, and it's just brilliant, you know. And like, at the sessions we have too, you don't have to dance. You don't have to come into the middle and dance. You can keep skating around the outside. So it's very inclusive to all skaters, because, you know, not everybody wants to do the roller dance. Not everybody wants to do this. Sometimes people just want their own wee headspace and they want to skate about for themselves. So it's creating that safe environment that you can come and do your own thing, join in as much as you want, or just have that wee skate, you know, to yourself and just kind of chill out, which is fab as well.
Yeah, and I've seen advertisements for that Berlin marathon before, and I remember seeing it years ago.
You would love it.
Don't tell me. I remember seeing it years ago and thinking, God, they must have very smooth streets, you know. And
yes, they do.
Were they? Yeah, they must be, because I know it's a huge marathon. Like, I have seen it.
Oh, wow.
When did you do that?
It's the same route. We did that back in 2023. So it's the same route they use as the running marathon. So which Berlin is one of the major marathons. So it's the same route. So like you start off, you go through all the streets of Berlin, and then towards the finish line, you actually skate under the Brandenburg Gate. That's
Okay.
absolutely beautiful, and it's quite emotional. That was the only part that was quite cobbly, going under the Brandenburg Gate. But the only thing in Berlin too that we don't have over here is tram lines. So they were a bit of a rascal because you had to make sure you were going over them quite straight so that your wheels didn't get caught. And there was a time limit on it, so we had to skate it within 2.5 hours.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think it was called the broom wagon would have caught you up the back. So like we had to do it in 2.5 hours. So we didn't do it on roller skates. We actually went and did it on the inlines because they're faster and we knew we needed the speed. But to train for that, so we're here training in Northern Ireland, and the weather here is just a bit unpredictable. We went down the Foyle Greenway and trained. We literally went up and down 1.5 miles each way. So we were doing laps of the Foyle Greenway down there, and like the many people we met too, and they're like, "What are you at?" And we're like, "Oh, we're training for a marathon," and it was just amazing. And just the fact, and like we met the mayor, and she was brilliant. She was really supportive of us, and it was just the fact that we were these kind of, in our 30s, 40s. We had picked up the girl whose idea it was had never skated when she sent this into their wee group chat. She was like, "Do you fancy doing that?" She went out and bought a pair of inlines after she'd signed up to the marathon. It was hilarious. But we were very good at skating forward, but we weren't great at stopping, on these inlines.
Yeah.
Like roller skating and inlines, they're very similar, but they're also a wee bit different as well. So we weren't going over it in any capacity as professional inline skaters, but we had a great time and we got it done and we got our medals and we were just delighted.
That's unbelievable. And I'm impressed that you actually were able to go from quads to inlines because I had
No,
never,
quite different.
yeah, they're very different. I mean, I had never skated in quads. So I started roller skating, inline skating when I was about 15, but then I didn't pick it up. I kind of did it for a summer, and then actually what happened is that the area that we lived in had really smooth roads. And me and a group of friends, we got roller skates this summer. We were skating every day, and brilliant, brilliant fun. And then we woke up one day, and the council had come and changed had to redo the roads. But do you know those stones that they put down? Do you know?
Yeah.
And you drive, and then whenever you're driving over for weeks and weeks and weeks, they're hitting your car. So for whatever reason,
Yeah.
the whole area that we lived in was done like that overnight. And that was the end of our roller skating completely. So I actually didn't pick it up until I went to
I know.
university then. But coming back to the quads, whenever we opened the rink, and we were buying all these quad skates, one day I was like, "Oh, I'll try these out." And I'm like a complete beginner. And I still am. I just
I know.
so different. So for you to say that you went from, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
the same going the other way, but if you've only roller skated and then you've gone to quads, I know that's extremely different. It's so different.
I know. And these inlines that we got for the marathon, like they had big, massive wheels. They were like, I think they were like 100 millimeter wheels, just to give us more speed as well. So they were quite chunky compared to our boots. Like I wouldn't really be able to dance on inlines, whereas I can dance on the roller skates, but like fair play to anybody that can dance on them because they're a lot more of a wheel, loads more wheels. But yeah, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was really, really funny the fact that we were just like, yeah, we're going to do this, and we did it, But yeah, I have to admit I haven't had the inlines on since. I think I'm a quad girl like at heart, but I did like them. They're good for outside. They're better for outside because we stones and that can get under the boots and they can knock you. But yeah, going back to the roads in Berlin were amazing, like so smooth. We were on the road where the cars, so you couldn't skate in our roads here. They'd be too bumpy and probably too hilly. Berlin's quite flat as well, although we did notice the hills. You notice the hills more on wheels than you do on your feet. You think it's not a hill, but then it is a hill when you're on the wheels.
Well,
Yeah, it's amazing, Stephen. You should look into it.
actually, what happened there, I told the negative side of that story, but I'm back living in the same area where I grew up now, and about 4 months ago, the roads were all redone in our area, and they put down the good stuff. And
Oh,
now
lovely.
the roads around here are like they were when I was 15. And the day after it was done, I was out on roller skates on it, and
Very
I was
good.
texting my friends, because we're still in a WhatsApp group, and I was saying to them, right, it's back on, and but none of them have come back out doing it with me yet. But maybe we'll get you guys down, because honestly, it is now one of the
Oh, that's
smoothest
good.
outdoor skating areas I've ever been on. So I'm quite lucky in that way.
Brilliant. Oh, good. We do like a wee road trip now. Last year we met up with a pile of Belfast people too down in the Cumber Greenway. And it was a great stretch of lovely Greenway Tower as well. And we skated it and had a great wee day. So yeah, we're up for the road trip.
Well,
You know us, any excuse.
there's also, I don't know, have you ever been to Armagh before?
No, no.
No. So Armagh has it's called the Mall, and so like there's an international road race around it every year, and but it actually is a really good space for during the summertime. It's a really good space for skating as well. And it's very safe as well because it's off the road and big green area.
Very
I think it's about a kilometre away the whole way around it, in a oval type shape. So it's really good. But yeah, I mean, you went through an awful lot of stuff there that I'm just thinking there were so many things that were just hitting me, and this person.
See, that's what I do, Stephen.
Well, I think,
I talk and then I'm like,
but that's the passion. I love that. I love that. I absolutely recognize that in myself. I'm exactly the same. So, you were talking there about the American dance instructor.
yeah.
What's really interesting for me is even in England, it seems to be. If you go on to, like, obviously from our business, I follow a lot of social media of other roller skating rinks around the UK, and
Yeah.
it's really obvious that in a lot of, particularly in like cities like London and things like that, there's a real adult culture of roller skating, and they're all very much into dancing,
Oh, absolutely.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so and I know for a fact that up where you are, there's a demand for roller skating, because we were approached, like, we opened the rink in 2013, and I remember probably about 4 years later, I had people down, and they were saying to me, like, they were giving me lists of warehouses in the Derry area, and they're like, please open a roller skating rink up here. And they went on for months. They
Yeah.
kept emailing me and stuff like that there. So there's definitely
Uh-huh.
there's definitely a market for it.
Oh, there definitely is. Absolutely. And like the many people that I meet too that tell me stories of back in the day, there was like a roller drome in Derry and there was a roller drome in Strabane. And that's where they all went. And they went every Friday night. And that's where they had, and they just got on the skates. And like there was a real culture of roller skating, like before our time. And you just think, oh my God, that's amazing. But why is this? Where did they go? Why did they not stay? They probably just a wee bit out of fashion for a bit, but whereas now it's all coming back round. But yeah, we would love your space down here. Like it would be absolutely amazing. I'd always say if I won the lotto, I would want somebody to build a big roller rink here somewhere, but I wouldn't want to do it myself. Too much work.
Yeah,
I could just go to it.
yeah. And well, so just to move on back to your to roller dance, Una. So you said you're doing it. Sorry,
Yeah.
about a year or so, do you say, or just over a year? Or?
I'm doing it a year now. This March time, last year, I did my first workshops. And we had beginner workshops, dance workshops. And over the year, then we kind of amalgamated the two. So we've kind of got beginner levels going into all levels workshops. We do a bit of skating, a bit of fundamentals, a bit of dance. And then we have separate adults classes it's just a quieter session for adults just to come then and just to chill out and have a wee skate. But we'll also do dances in it too. And like there last Friday, we had an adult session and we were doing a line dance to skates. And the crack we had with it, it was absolutely amazing. And then just different dances too. And like we very much, same as yourself, be following like what people are doing online. And you're ending up learning dances that people are doing all over the world. And then we're sharing them on our Instagram and we're saying, this is amazing that we're sitting over here in our wee small country and people over in America are doing the same dances. So that if we ever did meet up, we'd all be able to do the same wee dances, which would be amazing. And you're talking about Ireland, like in the summer here now, there's a big skate festival in Leeds London does loads of stuff. There's loads going on in Edinburgh. There's the Barcelona, as at Barcelona Love, like the loads of roller skaters go to that there. There's so much around the world, but and then down in Dublin, there's a lot of, I think they're called 50 First Skates down in Dublin. They're doing a lot of work down there with the roller skating. So it's great. Like, it's great to see it. It's great to see people that are so into it, and then hopefully meeting up with them when we can, and and just meeting all these new people and learning, teaching each other different wee tricks and skills and things like that, or just enjoying skating, like not doing any of that, just skating about.
And so how many sessions do you run a week then?
So I run 1 to 2 a week. Some weeks only one, some weeks two, some weeks three. It just depends. So this wouldn't be like my main job. I just do this part time, and so it would be one every week, and then some weeks it would be two.
Okay. And do you also do it in the same place, or do you do it in different halls, or?
I have at the minute we have 2 halls, so I have 2 halls on the go at the minute, and each hall has its own different like wee skate family that come to it, and so it's great because you get to know the same people that come. Some people come to the 2 halls, some people just come to the one because they're in slightly different areas. So it's great, they're quite accessible. But yeah, it's good now. It's good. We wouldn't be without them now. And the people that they're wee community halls.
Yeah.
So I feel very lucky that we've been allowed in, because at the start, Stephen, that was one of the hardest things, is to get a hall. A lot of opposition was people were worried about their floor and about the skates ruining the floor. So thankfully we have been able to secure 2 long-term halls now, and we're just delighted, and they're very good to us.
That's brilliant. Yeah, no, I know that story all too well, and I mean that was part of the reason that we wanted to open our own rink, because whenever, especially with the roller hockey that we were playing, it's one thing trying to get into a leisure centre to go roller skating, but try to get in and play inline hockey with the hard pucks and stuff. So you were always in a battle to once you got in, you were in a battle to stay in as well. So I can appreciate that, and. I mean, I just think that we've had a lot of people over the years come and ask about learn to skate, and we've ran learn to skate programs. And are you aware of like the figure skating scene in Ireland?
No, not in Ireland. I've seen bits of it in England, but no, I'm not really.
So,
like ice skating, do you mean?
oh, roller skating. They're they're on inlines.
On roller skating?
Yeah, so I think it's called artistic skating. I could be wrong with that. I think that's what it's called. But there's quite a big club in Cork, and
very good.
And they're amazing. Like, I mean, they have kids that are going and competing in European championships and stuff every year. And I think actually they're about to hold one, if they haven't. What day is today? The 15th of April. So they've either just held it last weekend or the weekend before, or they're about to hold it this weekend. I saw it on their social media, and so I mean, yeah, check them out on Facebook and stuff. They have some of their kids are unbelievable, and you're talking about dancing on skates. So just before COVID hit, at the end of 2019, we launched our first ever charity, large charity fundraising night called Dancing on Skates, and at the rink, and I actually was one of the performers in it as well. And what I'll do is we have a video from that night. It's on YouTube.
Oh, brilliant.
We have a video from that night. So it was brilliant. Our plan was that we were going to do this every single year. And it was brilliant. And we had Adrian Logan was there. He was doing the MC on the night. We had brought in proper professional light and sound, everything. And we had a group of, I think it was probably about 10 skaters. And we had a choreographer teacher who went through us, and it was absolutely brilliant. It was a real challenge. You were talking about dancing on skates, and but it was brilliant. And that night after, we had so many people come up to us and say, we want to do this next year. We want to do this next year. And then next year, COVID came, and we got closed down. So we were like one of the last things that was allowed to open each time, And to this point, as it is now, we haven't decided to do a second version of it. But I think when I was looking at having this conversation with you today, I think if there's anyone who's going to maybe sparked that enthusiasm in me to think, right, let's do Dance Skits 2.0. It's probably yourself.
Absolutely, you should do it. Yeah,
Um,
and you know what? You'd have so many people because where you are, you're quite close to a lot of places. You
yeah,
know, you'd
yeah,
have so
just off
many
the road.
people, not even just us.
Yeah, no.
You'd have so many people.
So
Oh, do it, Stephen.
whenever,
That sounds amazing.
whenever we put this out on our YouTube page and stuff, I'll put the link underneath it as well. It shows the Dance and Skates 2019. It was absolutely brilliant. It was
Very good.
honestly it was so enjoyable. It was so enjoyable. So I can completely get
Yeah,
that. And I think that you talked there about some of the groups around. I know there's this scene in Belfast, the Skate Social crowd in
yes,
Belfast as well, in
yeah,
your area, and I'm going to reach out to them as well and get them onto the
yeah,
podcast and about what they do, because I know they come down. They over the years they've kind of come up and down quite a bit, but
yeah,
they just,
yeah.
again, they have that same enthusiasm and that same passion, and
Yeah.
when I,
Yeah, we actually met up with a couple of that group whenever we went and skated at Cumber, and they were a lovely gang as well. You know, it's just great to meet other skaters in all different parts of our country. Like, it's great.
yeah, I think it's Kayla, I think it is, that runs the one, or is it one of the,
Yeah.
and then
She, she was actually my wee lifesaver because on that Cumber Greenway, my wheel came off and I had no wee skate tool with me. Of course not. Like, why not? Why would I bring one with me when I'm out skating? But it's been a lesson learned to have ever since. And Kayla actually scooted back to the car park and was back within a couple of minutes with a wee tool for me to put my wheel back on. So I held the whole skate up. But yeah, it was great. Apart from me holding everything up, it was such a lovely day, and it showcases the beauty of our country too, and those greenways, and everybody just skating along them. Like, they're great shared spaces for people to run, walk, skate. There was people on skateboards. It was great.
yeah,
It was lovely.
yeah, you know what? You're actually selling it to me, because I don't I very rarely skate outside. Like, it's mostly on in the rink and when I'm playing hockey and stuff. So,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
and you know what? Stephen, outside it's harder, like, because there's all these different terrains that you have to navigate. You've different kind of, well, obviously elevation, and then you'll have different surfaces, like pavement, wee stones. But it's just, there's something lovely about skating outside and the fresh air, and you know yourself, everything looks better in the sun. Like, we were down around the quay in Derry there last week skating, and see, when you're in the evening time and the sun's setting, it's just beautiful. So we're hoping to hold some more sunset skates. We were going to kind of put them out and have people join in with us. And in your area, like, you could totally do that. It'd be lovely. And just, it's nice too, because sometimes people want to do it, but they don't want to do it themselves.
yeah.
So if they meet up with other people, then it can be a nice wee social thing too.
Well, one of the things that I'm hoping to get out of these podcasts and stuff is to make people aware of things that are going on in their area as well, and to kind of,
Mhm.
like you said, people maybe don't want to do it. I know myself, even though like I love skating, but if I'm out skating, occasionally if I do, sometimes we go up to Donegal, and occasionally I would maybe put on my skates and skate around the seafront or whatever. But yeah, I do kind of sometimes think I'm in my 40s and I'm kind of skating here on my own, like, but,
I know, I
I
know.
do get that, like,
Mhm.
even as a confident skater. So if I wasn't a confident skater, I'd be like, well, it must be
Yeah.
even worse. So if people are listening to this and they're like, I've no doubt the energy you have will just be like attracting them to them, thinking, okay, I need to reach out to this. How would they
Yeah.
tell them
So do.
where's the place to find out and how to get in contact with you?
Find me on either Instagram or Facebook, and the page is roller dance, and then it's underscore Una. But it should come up if you just put in roller dance Una. And then I'm going to start putting up about these sunset skates. So I'll be putting up just when they'll be on, obviously weather dependent, and everybody's more than welcome to join in. We have plans in motion. Like, I'm running 2 marathons this year. Probably told you, Stephen, already. And so I'm actually fundraising a lot for MS UK. It's a charity quite close to my family's heart. So we're thinking at the minute about doing like maybe a 12-hour skate somewhere. And that would be a lovely day for people that are keen to skate and maybe want to meet up to come and join us even for an hour or two along the way. But again, it's all plans in motion at the minute. We haven't decided on a date or anything. But yeah, do reach out, come to some of my sessions if you live near, or
And where
I
are the
suppose if you
halls?
see anything.
Where, like, so people.
There are the two halls, but the first hall's in Lifford. So I live in Strabane, which is right on the Tyrone-Donegal border. So our hall's in Lifford, which is actually in Donegal, but it's 2 minutes away from Strabane.
Okay.
So if you're kind of anywhere in that general area, we have people come from all kind of within half an hour. There was one girl, she was coming an hour away, just to skate for an hour on a Monday evening. It's amazing to see the commitment and the parents' commitment for bringing them down. But so yeah, we've a hall in Lifford, and then we also have a hall in Ballylaw, which is Garvin, which is a wee village just outside Strabane as well. But again, it's very much kind of Tyrone, in the Tyrone area. But Derry's quite close as well. But yeah, it's just that reach out and get in touch and get rolling.
Yeah.
It's just the thing. Or go down to the rink. Or if you're in Enniskillen from Anna direction, there's a girl down there. She's called Glide and Groove Skate Club. Leanna, she does brilliant things, and she's got loads of halls
Right.
all down around that direction.
Okay.
She'd be good in your podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I wasn't even aware of her, so that's a good plug there for me.
She's a great girl. I've met her a few times, and she actually invited me and my dance crew down to an event she had on at Christmas time down in Enniskillen, and we had a great day, and we're skating outside Enniskillen Castle. Like, it was just a beautiful backdrop, and the weather was awful. Of course it was. It started raining, but we just made the most of it, and we went out. Never thought I would do it. Skated in the rain, probably wrecked the skates, but we had a great day. And yeah, we were skating to Mariah Carey. We had a wee dance routine planned for that.
Something I wanted to chat to you about, though, as well, was there's a lot of talk about keeping girls active and females active in sport, and something I see with the roller skating is that there's a very even the percentage of people that follow us on Facebook, etc., a high percentage of them are female. When it comes, and so what about if there's, is it all females that are coming to you at the moment, or if there's a men listening or boys listening to this, are they?
I suppose the majority is female, but there is boys that come too, and there's a wee group of boys that come, and they're brilliant. We've actually had daddies that have skated with their wee ones, and but I suppose it is mostly female.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there's definitely boys in there too. There's definitely boys sprinkled in.
Yeah. No, okay. So whether you're male or female, they're welcome to come along and get a wee dance.
Absolutely.
Or just skate.
Yeah. And you know what is as well? See the age.
Mm-hmm.
We have people coming in their 60s, and it's absolutely amazing. And then there's no, like, lower age limit, I would always say, as long as they can get skates to fit them.
Yeah.
But
and what about
the ones
that?
in my library started at 12 junior. So if they're smaller than that, they have to get their own skate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's what, sorry, I just kind of broke up a wee bit there. Are you saying that if people do you have some skates for people, or do they need to source their own skates?
Yes, I have a skate library that I would lend them out to people for free.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And funny, something that you had said earlier on in the session as well. You had said about the dangers of roller skating and things like this here, and I think it's a misconception, because, and actually statistically it is as well, because I mean, I know people, like, when you consider like trampoline parks and things like that, people just assume they assume they're safe because, like, they're soft, and but the amount of injuries that can happen and things like that there. Again, I always say to people when they ask me, is it dangerous or whatever skating, I say, well, look, it's like anything that you do, there's risk, but thankfully, I mean, I suppose one of the things that I love to teach people is, especially people that come and say, I don't know whether you get this, I'm sure you do, people saying, oh, I can't skate, and I love saying to them, you mean you haven't learned yet? It's not that you can't. There's not that you can't, it's just you haven't learned yet. And and it's something that I love doing is that whenever people, because sometimes genuinely people are scared as well, and I'll say to them, and you know what, the teaching people how to fall. Sorry, go ahead.
Teaching them how to fall and how to skate safely, reducing that risk. And if they think they're going to fall, what to do, and hopefully prevent the fall. But yeah, falls will happen. Like, and I always say, don't be scared of falling because the better you get, the more dangerous, not dangerous, that's the wrong word, the more kind of harder things you try. So the chances that you might fall, the better skater you get increase.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first thing I say to people is that I'll sit them right. I'm gonna make you fall, and they look at you like. But it's not sadistic. It's like the way I kind of say it is like the best way. I remember when I was young, growing up, the best way to learn how to swim was to get comfortable going underwater. And I think it's kind of similar to skating. I was like, if you know how to fall properly, then, and that's why I said to people, if you know how to fall, do something right. If there's a right way to do it, how can it be a bad thing? So there's a right way to fall, and once you give people that confidence to know how to do it, then it just opens them up to it, So and I think, what I knew that I was going to get excited by some of the things you were saying, and I definitely think that. Did you invite me to sunset roller skating this summer? And did you invite everybody who's listening to this to some kind of, is it a fundraiser for MS or something? Or was there
Yeah.
something, I know you have no date for it yet, but I think that's something that I would say, well, you know what, if there was an invitation went out there to anyone who likes to roller skate for a sunset skate, and if you were doing it for, I know you're saying that you're raising for Action MS or something like that there. So then, yeah, count me in, and I'm sure there'd be a lot of people who listen to this would do it as well. So, but that sounds brilliant. It's a different form of skating.
Definitely have to get a date.
I'd have to be in my inline, so I couldn't go on quads. So. Okay, well, listen, thank you so much. I know whenever I reached out to you, I was kind of like, and you were very excited to do it, and I was delighted at that too. And I think, obviously when you're talking about, when you're passionate about something, it comes across, So, okay, listen,
No, thank you
we'll
for
wrap it
having
up.
me. It's been great chatting to you.
Yeah, no, well, great. We'll wrap it up there. And like I said, anyone who's listened to this, I'll put all the information below the video. And you can know how to contact Una and how to get involved in roller skating in different areas in Northern Ireland. All right, Una, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Stephen, thank you.